We've all been there. You've just finished another amazing journey through Hyrule, and now you're sitting there wondering, what next? Well, after spending way too many hours hunting for games that capture that same magic, I've found some real gems. Not copies, but games that scratch that same itch for adventure and discovery. Let me show you what I found. First up is Tunic, and it's seriously something special. It's an isometric action adventure where you play as this fox explorer in a world full of ancient ruins and forgotten technology. What makes it unique is how it handles discovery. You collect pieces of the game's manual as you explore, revealing mechanics and secrets. The combat feels weighty and precise with a shield and sword system that rewards timing. But the real magic is in solving its mysteries. Everything from basic controls to late-game secrets is hidden in these scattered manual pages. I've got to tell you about Immortals Fenyx Rising. Yeah, the name's a bit much, but the game is actually really solid. It's an open-world action RPG set in the Greek mythology universe with fluid combat and some genuinely clever puzzles. You've got this full ability set. You can glide, manipulate objects with telekinesis, and summon a companion bird for scouting. The Vaults of Tartaros are these bite-sized challenge dungeons that mix combat and puzzles in really creative ways. Zeus and Prometheus narrate your journey, turning even basic exploration into this hilarious running commentary.
I'm going to need allies to go up against Typhon.
The vanquished gods need to be reunited with their severed essences.
Aphrodite? Hephaestus? Athena?
Bluefire really caught me off guard with how good it feels to play. It's a 3D platformer mixed with action-adventure elements, set in this dark, atmospheric world called Penumbra. The movement system is incredible. You can wall run, double jump, and dash with this fluid precision that makes traversal feel amazing. The Void challenges are these optional platforming gauntlets that'll test everything you've learned. Think of them as like Super Mario Sunshine's secret levels, but with a dark fantasy twist. The combat's fast-paced too, with upgradable abilities and different weapons to master.
Ancient times, in order to train their kind to fight the darkness. Throughout the castle, you'll find several voids, each more difficult than the last. By completing these voids, you not only gain a special currency called Void Souls, but also sharpen your skills and gain...
Oceanhorn 2 takes the Wind Waker formula and adds its own modern spin. You're a young knight exploring this world of floating islands and ancient technology, with a combat system that mixes sword fighting with magical caster gear abilities. What makes it stand out is the companion system. You'll team up with other characters who help you solve environmental puzzles and fight enemies. The world's split into these distinct regions, each with their own environmental puzzles and dungeons to tackle. It's got this bright, optimistic vibe that makes exploration really enjoyable. Let me share why Okami HD is still amazing after all these years. You play as Amaterasu, a sun goddess in wolf form, using this incredible celestial brush mechanic where you literally paint to affect the world. Need to fix a broken bridge? Paint it back together. Want to slice through enemies? Draw a line through them. The game's set in this gorgeous world based on Japanese folklore, with each region having its own problems to solve and spirits to help. The art style looks like a living Japanese ink painting, and the soundtrack perfectly matches each area's mood. Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this look at some of Switch's finest games, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these games you've played or are excited to try. Now, let's continue with our lineup. Eastward blends storytelling and gameplay in this really unique way. It's an action RPG where you control two characters, John, who fights with a frying pan, and Sam, who has mysterious energy powers. You'll swap between them to solve puzzles and handle different combat situations. The game's post-apocalyptic world is full of these detailed pixel art environments and quirky characters, each with their own little stories to discover. What really stands out is how the cooking system ties into everything. You'll collect ingredients throughout your journey to cook meals that give you different buffs and power-ups. Death's Door nails that perfect balance of challenge and satisfaction. You're a soul-reaping crow taking on these larger-than-life bosses in a world where death itself has gone wrong. The combat system is tight and responsive. You start with basic sword attacks, but gradually unlock ranged weapons and magical abilities that open up new combat possibilities. Each area has its own distinct theme and shortcuts to unlock, with puzzles that cleverly use your growing arsenal of abilities. The world design reminds me of Dark Souls' interconnected levels, but with this darkly charming atmosphere all its own. Nobody Saves the World takes the idea of character progression and just goes wild with it. Instead of collecting gear, you transform into different forms, each with their own unique abilities and playstyles. Want to be a ranger who shoots arrows? Done. How about a bodybuilder who uses gym equipment as weapons? That's there too. The genius is in how you can mix and match abilities between forms, creating these crazy combinations that somehow work perfectly. The dungeons are procedurally generated with different requirements, so you're constantly experimenting with new form combinations to overcome challenges. Unsighted adds this really compelling time management layer to the classic action-adventure formula. Every character in the game, including yourself, has a limited amount of time before they run out of anima and turn hostile. You're racing against the clock to save both yourself and your friends, making tough choices about who to help with your limited resources. The game's combat is fast and precise, with different weapons having unique movesets. There's this great upgrade system where you can customize your abilities and stats, plus a crafting system that lets you create items to help manage your time better. Outer Wilds is about pure exploration and discovery in ways that remind me so much of my first time playing Zelda. You're an astronaut in a solar system that resets every 22 minutes, but knowledge carries over between loops. Each planet is this handcrafted puzzle box with its own unique physics and secrets. One might be falling apart piece by piece, while another has a surface that completely changes when you're not looking. No upgrades, no new abilities, just you, your tools, and your growing understanding of how everything connects. The moment when you start piecing together the mystery is genuinely mind-blowing. Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment. Let's chat about it. See you in the next one.